Finally, I arrived at the destination. The weather is not as expected. Keep raining for the whole trip going here. Welcome everyone to my video. So finally, I'm at the destination. The weather today is not as expected. Keep raining for the whole day. The typhoon is coming. Currently, it's a typhoon 1 signal in Hong Kong. So yeah, pretty hard to drive a long distance here to under the heavy rain. But finally, we're here. Let's chill out and hop. The weather is getting better, so we can drink some coffee, sit back, relax, and talk something interesting. I don't have a planned script, but yeah, let's see what coming up, then we talk about it. All right. Yeah, really after the rain, weather is pretty nice, very cool. So it's no longer 30-something degree after summer. Really nice. So today I have here, I have coffee. So yeah, you might not know this thing, but this one is the coffee filter. So I'm Vietnamese, so I drink the Vietnamese coffee. I find it's the most suitable for me. Italian coffee tastes okay, but it's still the best choice for the Vietnamese coffee. So see what we have here for the coffee. So for the Vietnamese coffee, for here the coffee powder. I have coffee powder and the condensed milk. It's condensed milk. Yeah, coffee powder. Yeah, so for the Vietnamese coffee, you know that for the coffee bean, we have many kinds of coffee bean. We have Robusta, we have Abarica, and there's another kind I can't remember, but the one that has the most bitterness and with the bold flavor is a Vietnamese coffee. The type is Robusta. So because we're going to drink with the condensed milk, so condensed milk is very creamy, very sweet. So we need, that's why we need the coffee with the bold flavor to balance back the sweetness of the condensed milk, and as a combination, it's very good drink. It's sweet but not too sweet. A balance between the bitterness, the coffee flavor, everything is perfect. So yeah, we have several way of making coffee. Here I have the filter. You can see it's pretty simple. It doesn't need electricity, it doesn't need any battery. All it needs is a coffee powder and the hot water. So here we have a couple of main component. Is the press for the coffee powder to put the presser for the coffee inside, the container for the coffee powder, the second layer of the filter. You can see there is many holes here, so if we have to filter out any leftover coffee powder that might drop from this filter, and it will hold it here. So this one is the lid, just to cover and keep the heat inside the coffee so that it can extract the coffee better. Yeah, it's pretty much the tool to make the coffee. So firstly, I'm gonna put some condensed milk inside. Yeah, just according to your taste, you can adjust the condensed milk. If you don't like too sweet, then you just put a little. But for myself, I like a little bit much condensed milk. Then we have coffee powder here. So I'm gonna put about 3 spoons. Make the surface to be balanced. And then we put the presser on top to press the coffee powder we just put inside. Maybe not enough, a little bit more. Alright. Then we put 2 spoons on top. Okay, that was good. Again, flatten the surface. Press a little bit. Let's put the coffee powder aside. Oh, here I already have the hot water. So we are not going to pour the hot water to fill up the pot immediately. What we're going to do is we just put a little bit hot water inside, enough to soak the powder, and leave it there for 5 minutes before we actually pour all the water inside to extract the coffee out. So the reason why we need to do it that way, because we want to give time for the coffee bean to absorb the water inside, and it will become bigger and easier to extract all the coffee flavor outside the bean. So it's the reason why. Luckily the water is still hot. Alright, now we leave it there. So I also have some ice here. Later I'm going to make the iced coffee. I don't get used to drink hot coffee. It's just depending on your preference. Okay, we leave it there. Today I also have some cigar. So let's wait for the coffee a couple of minutes before we can drip it out to the condensed milk. Right, we're waiting for the coffee powder to absorb the water. Then we can make the coffee. We can talk something about living outside of your homeland, of your hometown. So yeah, like so many Vietnamese around the world, I live outside the country. Specifically is Hong Kong, where people here they don't speak English. So yeah, it's a little bit challenge for me to live here, but yeah, I still find a way to get over it and blend in with the life and just normalize it. So there's a couple of rules that I think is going to be helpful for anyone live away from your home, maybe another province in your country or another country apart from away from your homeland. The very first rule is you need to speak their own language. So let's say if you live in Canada, you speak English. You live in Mexico, you speak Spanish. For me, I live in Hong Kong. Cantonese is one of the dialect of Chinese. apart from the Mandarin spoken by the mainland China. Cantonese is the main language in Hong Kong. So yeah, so when you live in the country, try to speak their language. I won't say you have to speak it fluently, but at least you need to have the intention to speak to them in their own language, so they're gonna be more friendly, and they will be more open for the conversation, or more open to help you out. Yeah, you're gonna see how different when you speak their own language and when you speak a foreign language, for example, the English to them. It's going to be huge different. And I think it's very common sense. You imagine if you live in your country, let's say my country, the Vietnamese, talk to each other. If what language do we feel comfortable to talk to? It's Vietnamese. It is very weird if in the group of people, that 4 or 5 people, suddenly one people speak in English or speak in Spanish to the others, then everyone will feel uncomfortable. Even though maybe English they know it, but the people around is going to look at them with a very weird eyes. Why these guys and girl is Vietnamese but speaking English to each other? So it is pretty weird and make people feel not feeling comfortable. Yeah, so one of the tip, maybe if you're not fluent in I will use Cantonese because I'm living here in Hong Kong. So if you are not fluent in Cantonese, when you talk to the local, maybe the shop seller or anyone on the street, or you ask for the direction, or you ask for help or anything, or talk about anything on the street, in the shop, in the shopping mall, everywhere here in Hong Kong. Let's start with the conversation with Cantonese first. Say hello in Cantonese. Say, can you help me in Cantonese? I think this simple sentence is very easy to learn. And then after the greeting sentence, you might use English to let that people know, are you trying to speak Cantonese to them? But please forgive me if I don't understand you, or I cannot what you mean. I cannot know what you mean. Then they will feel more comfortable to speak to you back or explain to you back in English. Yeah, it's one of the tips I'm using, instead of that you start a conversation with English. By when you do that, coincidentally you tell them, oh, I don't speak your own language, you have to speak English to me. Then make them close themselves and doesn't want to talk to you if they don't know English. And the conversation will become very awkward. So yeah, it's one of the tips. And one of the core ways of living away from your country is about communication in the local language. Yeah, for myself, I don't say I can make a conversation fully in Cantonese, but yeah, at least I'm trying to do it. I'm willing to learn it every single day, learn the new vocabulary, learn the new way of expressing myself. Yeah, it's just about time. So yeah, give you some time to adapt to your new life in whatever situation you are in at the moment. Keep thriving. Okay, I think the coffee powder is probably soak enough water. So what I will do is I put this two-layer filter, the pot on top of the second filter, and put on top of the glass. Yeah, sorry if you hear any noise in the video. Probably it's been because of the there's a construction right next to this area. Don't know what kind of construction it is. It's quite weird. It's quite a remote area. It doesn't even have a tarmac to come to this area. It's just soil path. The street is very rough. I don't know what kind of construction they're doing there. Okay, what we do is we pour the water to fill the pot. Then you will see the magic happen. Look at the glass, some coffee is coming out. Alright. So final step, put the lid on top to keep the heat of the coffee. Put some water. You can see the water extracting the coffee pretty well by looking at the color. It's dark, very dark coffee. That's what I love. This kind of coffee you cannot make with the Italian coffee, because Italian coffee tend to be very, I would say very light, very less caffeine, very little caffeine, and the color, etc., is everything is light and easier to approach. But this one needs to be bold, because again we need to balance with the condensed milk. Let me put it down. Okay. Beautiful layer. We have white layer and we have black layer of coffee. Beautiful. And smell good as well. Nice. Hey, maybe we need to wait a couple of minutes. So I have new knife, which we use for the camping, picnics kind of stuff, and also I can use this one to cut my cigar. You can see the knife is from Victorinox. Yeah, it's a very famous brand for the multi-function tool and knife for the outdoor activity. Very good one. Crazily sharp. Crazily sharp. Be careful with the plate. Yeah, this one you can go picnics, camping. Have a lot. You can chop your food. You can peel your vegetable. You can peel your fruit. Chop the vegetable, chop the food, chop the meat, or even chop the tree branch. The tree branch, if it's obstacling your camping site. Yeah, I think coffee is pretty much done. Smell very good. For the coffee powder, after you finish using it, you can use something to contain it and put inside the room or the toilet or the kitchen. It helps to purify the air very good, and also give you a very good aroma for the space. So we have everything. done, and I mix it up. Smell really good. Coffee, very strong coffee smell. Creamy, buttery. Yeah, this Vietnamese coffee I like a lot. It also gives you the nutty smell and flavor as well. Nice. I put some ice here. Let's shake it. It's stuck together inside. Leave half the ice for drinking Coca-Cola later. You can see it's beautiful color. It's the reddish color. It's not black, it's not white, but it's very beautiful reddish color. Great. Coffee, cannot miss out the cigar. Let's see what I have here. My DuPont lighter as usual. Cutter, we might not need the cutter today. We have the painful knife. Yeah, morning coffee. Let's have a light stick. Let me tell you a little bit about this stick. Show you the stick first. Okay. Is Joy the Nicaragua. So Nicaragua is one country planting the very famous country planting the tobacco. Is in South America, I remember. So it's one of the one of the longest brand for the New World tobacco in Nicaragua. So this blend have the wrapper outside, the leaf that cover outside. It's from Ecuador, Connecticut. So the wrapper name is Ecuador, Connecticut. Inside is the Nicaragua filler and binder. So very balanced cigar, very good for the coffee. Let's cut the cigar. Today I use a knife to cut it. For the cigar basic, maybe I cover in another video. I'm not talking too much about the cigar basic, how to cut the cigar, what is the cigar construction, what is the size of the cigar. I might cover it in detail later in another video. So in this video we just chill out, have some coffee, talk, and Smoke a nice stick. Nice tidy cut. And we light it up. Yeah, when we light up the cigar, we need to blow the foot of the cigar to see if the amber cover the whole area of the cigar to make sure that it burns evenly and give you the best flavor that the blender intends to give. Very good. Sit back in the middle of the nature and see all kind of beautiful scene, trees, grass. Smell the grass, smell the muddy ground, sound of the bird, insect, all the combinations. It's like the opera song. Very chill. Sometimes you need to touch up the wood to make sure that it burns in circle. If the cigar burns one side, then it will destroy your relaxation. Yeah, at the first puff, it's very cedary and nutty flavor from the cigar, which is the dominant flavor and why it's famous. So this one, the Surrey, is the classical original Queen Bee. The size is Corona size. I believe this one is 50, not up to 50. Sorry, Corona is 40. Yeah, 42 by 6. Very elegant size. Nothing can compare with the coffee and cigar. You see how similar their color. Let you see the color. Very similar color between the wrapper and the coffee. And they actually give the quite similar taste. So this stick also have the coffee taste. Coffee, nutty and creamy. This one is also coffee, nutty and creamy. It's perfect for the pairing. Yeah, I'm planning to fly the drone in this area to show you guys how is the area from above the sky. But unfortunately, today it keep raining. If we are lucky enough, then the weather is calming down, there's no more rain, the wind is not that strong, then I can fly the drone to show you the area around. Yeah, when I fly in this area, I need to be very cautious because there is on my right side is the shooting range from the military, I believe the China military. So I will try not flying too near to that area, or I will face some legal consequence if flying next to the military area. So I will try to fly on the left side. This area, this area is so nice. So there's no reason for me to risk flying into the prohibited zone. See, best life ever. Sometimes you don't need to complicate everything to have a good life. Maybe your job is tough out there. It's very busy with the family, but giving yourself some hours in the Saturday, I don't think it's a very excessive request from your family to give you that some hours in the weekend. Give yourself some time, sit back somewhere. Don't have anyone talk to you. Nothing happen inside your head. Just sit back, relax, and give yourself some peace, so that your mind will be refreshed, and get ready for the upcoming things happen in the upcoming weeks. Yeah, sometimes happiness is not that complex. You don't have to drive the supercar. You don't have to sit in a luxury restaurant or luxury cigar lounge in order to enjoy a cigar. You don't need to have that. Even I can, but I choose not to, because I want to use my money more reasonable way, and not spending if it's not necessary. Because for myself, I like sitting back at the nature, in the nature like this, to smoke cigar instead of sitting in the lounge with so many people around me. I'm a bit introvert. If someone knows me, they might be surprised. You are introvert? Really? You talk too much. You do so many bullshit things around people, make people laugh. But why are you introvert? Yeah, I'm introvert. So if I really want the time for myself to relax, if I feel really relaxed and don't need to think how to entertain people around, then I probably prefer to be alone myself, somewhere that I can sit alone and think about so many things and just relax. So for me, it's the most relaxing and comfortable time that I will have. It's not that complex, right? It's not that complicated. It's very easy for you to achieve. It happens. It happens all the time. The ash is falling everywhere. Make your clothes dirty, but everywhere is like a mess. But it's the happy problem, right? Not everyone have that problem. yeah, going back to the living away from your country. The second rule that I always apply living outside of my hometown, living away of my home, is stop thinking as a tourist. Okay, so why I say stop thinking as a tourist, so what let analyze, let diagnose why what the a tourist think. So a tourist think that when it comes to a country is for vacation. They don't mind to spend a big money for shopping, eating in a nice restaurant, find over the training place to go and have a good life, have a good food every single day they stay in that country. But you are living in that country as a resident, and you need to stop thinking as a tourist. Even it's not your hometown, it's not the place you was born, and grow up. But stay away from the tourist thinking. Will help you to find a more local place to eat, to buy stuff, to go shopping. For example, if you eat, then you go to the local restaurant. It will give you more authentic taste of the local. Because the famous restaurant that serve the tourists, they will tweak the recipe a little bit to make sure that they serve the mainland Chinese well. They make sure they serve the Malaysian well. Make sure that the Indian tourists like the flavor is near to their flavor. Make sure that it's not too salty, not putting MSG, not too sweet for the Westerner to accept it easier. So the local restaurant is always the best choice if you want to live long term in that country. And one of the reasons to choose the local food, apart from authenticity, is about the price. The price is quite reasonable, I would say. It might be only 40 or 50% of the price of the restaurant that most of the tourists is coming. Or when you go for shopping, go for grocery, not going to the expensive supermarket, the Japanese supermarket, the supermarket inside the luxury shopping mall. Here is like a Pacific Place, City Plaza. They have the supermarket inside, and they have their own brand of supermarket. Maybe not their brand, but yeah, the brand is not a local brand that I know. That if you go to the local market, which is the wet market, people here call it wet market. So it's just similar concept in Vietnam. You see people have a big space, and then someone have the vegetables, someone have the fish, and just put in a container and put on the ground or put on the table to display it. It's simple as that. So people here call it wet market, but it's not that low end. It still look like a counter in the supermarket, but yeah, they sell the fresh food. It's the most important one. They sell the fresh food. The food in the supermarket is frozen, but in the wet market it's all fresh. They for sure they also have the frozen, but most of the one in the wet market is the fresh food. So you got reasonable price, you got fresh food to eat. Then combining all of that, it will give you more reasonable expanding to your daily life here in the country you're living, and it can sustain you stably every month. So you don't have to spend crazy money every month. Even you earn a lot of money, I don't care, but you earn more than you save more. It's much better, right? This cigar never disappoint me. It keep getting better and better while I'm smoking it. Alright, I nearly finished my cigar. Maybe there's another 15 minutes more smoking. Don't underestimate this small cup. The caffeine level is very high. You drink one small cup in the morning, you will be awake for the whole day. You drink 2 cups, you're going to dance in your office. Okay, so living in the country away from your hometown, the last thing that I want to say here is the most important thing is you need to be following the local law and the regulation. So why I'm saying so, I actually do see some Westerner living in any Asia country, and they tend to behave very crazy and ignore the local regulation until the police come to see them, and they know, oops, the situation is getting so serious now. Why you're doing that? We are not doing that in our country. Yes, it's your country. You have so much freedom. Sometimes you do crazy things that the government cannot control, but it's our country. We have our own law, our own regulation that you need to follow. We have some guidelines that you need to be abide with. So we are running our country in a different way. So when you live in any country, we respect the local regulation and laws. You drive, you need a driving license in that country. If that country say your driving license back in your country cannot be used here, then don't use it here. Don't think that, oh, I have driving license in my country, why I cannot drive here? I pass all the course, all the examination. It is in your country, but in the new country, they ask for the new driving license that issued by their government. Then you need to take driving license in their country to be legalized drive here on their land. So yeah, it's how obvious that is it only foreigner or the people outside need to follow the law, but the local doesn't? Yes, the local also need to follow the law, but the consequence of the foreigner, of the people that is not permanent resident of the country that violate the law will be more serious. So let's say when you drive, you speeding or you cross the red light, okay? For the local, maybe the police catch them, give them ticket, and they pay for the penalty, or they will be deduct the point in their driving license, and then that's it. After that, there is no after effect. If it's not criminal offense, I'm not talking about the criminal offense. Criminal offense, everyone is here. You will be kicked out of the country immediately. So not talking about that. But for the foreigner, if you violate the law in their country, the next time maybe you renew the working visa or renew your resident visa while waiting for your citizenship, then they might reject you. Okay, so they will say, okay, you're living in my country, but you're not behaving. You have so many driving tickets. You keep crossing the red line. So we don't have a strong reason to reside you in our country anymore. So in that case, there might be a way out, but it's very complicated. There's so many paperwork, so many procedures that you need to pass in order to get it approved. So be careful on the regulation and the law in the country you're living with. Right. It's the most important factor for you to survive in any place. Just respect their law, then nothing will happen. Some people is like speeding, doing protests on the street, which is not allowed in the communist country. Hong Kong now has been handed over back to China, so it's have to follow the Communist Party. So it's not allowed, so don't do it. If you want to do it, go back to your country. If you feel very annoying to this country, then go back to your country. But if you stay here, abide the law. Okay? Or especially the thing that I'm playing is not all the toy that you can freely play. For example, the drone is strictly regulated here. So your drone might not exceed 250 grams. If exceed, you need a proper license. You need a proper pilot license. You need to register with the government. You need to register your drone and get the certificate stamp, the stamp to put on your drone. So whenever the police pass by, they see your flying drone, and you need to show them that certificate. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. So these kind of regulation that you need to be aware of. It's not like don't think that, oh, I have money, I can buy the drone. I can fly anywhere I want. I can buy any drone I want without letting the government know. I'm not talking about the case that you are not aware of it. Yeah, even you are not aware of it, you need to be aware of it. You need to check on the internet, search on Google. To see any relevant law that you need to follow, the regulation that you need to follow. Because obviously, just use the common sense. You fly a drone, you fly to the military area, you fly to the area that's confidential, that is not allowed to capture photo or video. They need to control it. You cannot fly anywhere you want. I think it's the same for other countries as well. Or you fly the drone in a certain height. You know, in the sky there's also other flying objects. There's helicopter, there is airplane, there is aircraft. So you are limited in a certain height that you cannot exceed. Otherwise, you're going to crash into these aircraft, and you know, you crash into the commercial airplane. How many people is inside that plane? Hundreds of people. They all die if you do so. Even the bird can kill the whole plane. Do you think your drone, how much impact your drone will cause to a plane when you crash into it? Yeah, so just follow regulation and everything will be fine. Or even you are flying, there is some rules that you need to be aware of for flying the drone. Even you fly in the allowed zone, at the allowed at the limit, at the height limit, But when you see the helicopter is flying across your path or is about to crash, then you need to lower the latitude to let the helicopter pass, because you are in lower priority. You cannot overtake the air. The helicopter is crazy, man. Yeah, these are the mainly the video today. I want to show you guys where I chill out in the weekend. The coffee that I like, and some thoughts around living outside of your hometown. It's really important that I want to share. Okay, I think that's it for the video today. See you guys in the next video. If you like my content, like and subscribe my channel, and share to other people who might like it, to support for my channel. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm making this channel for fun, but who knows, it's going to go professional or go commercial someday in some of the topic I want to do. Yeah, the most important thing is a viewer. I appreciate your support and your view. That inspire me a lot to make more content for you guys to watch. Thank you. Peace.